This week, a People's Tribunal in London concluded that prisoners of conscience in China are being murdered for their organs. A former intern at a military hospital in China who witnessed the crime firsthand speaks out. He told NTD's Alec Rusek his story.
The event took place in the 90s while George Zheng was about to graduate from medical school. I was doing an internship at the Shenyang Army General Hospital. At that time, I took part in a military mission. Along with 3 doctors and 2 nurses, and under armed escort, he was driven in an ambulance to an area around Dalian in China's northeast. The ambulance drove to a very remote place in the wilderness. Then we heard a gunshot. It wasn't long before several soldiers carried a man over. At the time, I saw that his neck was all covered by blood and his throat was bloody. Zheng witnessed doctors removing kidneys from the prisoner. He motioned for me to cut one particular blood vessel. As soon as it was cut, his blood instantly flowed out and it was hot. I was panicking and very shocked at the time. But I saw that the other people present had no expression on their faces. After the kidneys, the doctors instructed him to take out the eyeballs. I said that I couldn't do it at all. I was near collapse at that time and my body kept on shaking. One of the doctors removed the eyeballs and after all was done instructed George to stuff the body into a bag, which was carried away by soldiers. I asked, "What about the leftover bodies?" He said that there was another military vehicle that would destroy or burn them. After they came back to Shenyang, he witnessed the organs being implanted into a waiting patient. He was told to sit aside and take a rest. The whole thing shook him profoundly. After I went home, I had a high fever for a few days. Afterwards, I talked with someone at the hospital to tell them that I would not go there anymore. I said I could work elsewhere, but I wouldn't do this job again. To this day, George is haunted by the memory of that day in the mountains and wilderness. Who was the victim? I thought he also has parents. His family didn't know anything about this cruel event. He decided to leave China. But I know that the Chinese Communist Party would assassinate people who are aware of this to silence them. So when I thought about this, I thought that since I'm alive, I should stand up to testify. Because tens of thousands of families in China don't know that their loved ones died in such a cruel way. On Monday, an independent People's Tribunal in London unanimously concluded that within the People's Republic of China, or PRC,
forced organ harvesting had happened in multiple places in the PRC and on multiple occasions for a period of at least 20 years and is continuing.
With multiple testimonies from different groups, the only missing side at the tribunal was the Chinese Communist Party, which claimed that the accusations are politically motivated.